Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am a middle-aged woman, soon to be empty nester in training, and a professional dog trainer of 23 years, who is diving headfirst into the shooting world. I've been a lover of the shooting world for a while, but now have decided that I want to learn more, leading to possibly a competitive field. Today, we are expanding on that little teaser that I posted about dry firing earlier this week. If you've been following along, you know my brain immediately translates everything in the shooting world straight through a dog trainer's lens, because that's what I've had for 23 years. That's my expertise, so that's how I correlate things. Today, we are looking at 3 concepts or terms that I've learned recently, and kind of how it relates in my brain and how I relate it to dog training and why it's important. The 3 major concepts are dry firing, trigger reset, and grip, and why practicing at home feels completely ridiculous and silly and pointless, but is actually the exact secret to building the real world skills that people need with their dogs in the world and what I will eventually need on a competitive field. So for dry firing and progressive environments, when I first heard about it, I thought dry firing was bad for your gun. I don't know why, I just thought it did. To me, dry and mechanics and metal weren't good. So I didn't think it was a good thing. But dry firing, as I have found out, is simply practicing your gun handling, your draw, sorry, my table's moving, and your mechanics with an empty firearm. So no ammo needed. No sounds of the shooting range, no other guns going off, and no strangers watching you. You're taking all of that high pressure stress away and just focusing on the fundamentals of the gun. So to me, this is identical to how I teach owners to start leash walking with their dogs. Most reactive dogs, or dogs in general, are just kind of terrible on leash. And why? Because the second they walk outside, they're like, ooh, they can hear everything, they can smell everything, they can see everything, and they're just so overstimulated, and trying to train in an overstimulated state, either for us or for a dog, is not gonna work. So you have to practice everything that you need fundamentally outside in your home. So I tell people to practice inside first, and it feels silly and it feels ridiculous and it feels pointless, but that's how you get your dog's fundamentals down and your fundamentals down and your leash skills down and your body movement down, and you teach your dog, hey, I want you to look at me when this leash is connected to you, and they get that inside where there's nothing going on, and then you slowly start moving outside to more distractions. I usually tell people, start in your house first, and then go in your backyard, and then go to your driveway. So kind of the same with dry firing. I'm practicing in my house, in my hallway, or in my living room, and dry firing is just simply, it's empty, no ammo, no magazine. So dry firing is just simply what it sounds like, right? You're just taking your trigger and you're shooting. Nothing's gonna happen because there's nothing in there. But what you're doing is getting used to holding your gun, pointing your gun, the weight of your gun, the muscle memory of everything that you need before you actually hit the range when there's a bunch of people watching you, because I don't like that. The next term that I learned was trigger reset. So in the shooting world, you learn that when you pull the trigger and shoot, it has a break. You don't actually let your finger fly all the way back out, which is what I've been doing. Instead, you let it out just enough that you feel it click and it goes back into place, so to speak, and that's your reset, where you find the wall right before it breaks again. So some guns have a long reset and some have a short. This is my Canic TTI Combat smoke, and it has a pretty short reset, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear it. So when I shoot, hold it to my mic so you can hear it, right? So then I'll rack it and listen for the little, that's my reset, that right there, and then I can fire again. And if you notice my finger doesn't move much, that's my reset. So how do I translate that in my dog training brain? I translate that directly to trigger stacking and working a dog's threshold. Think about a reactive dog that wants to explode the second they see another dog. In training, you learn to recognize that exact threshold or wall where they're about to flip their shit right before they explode. You don't want to push them past it because, again, you can't work with them there. You have to find right at that boundary, that exact wall of their threshold, so you can, excuse me, then manage it, shrink it, and stay under control when they get closer to the dog, the distraction, or whatever it is that's triggering them. So it's all about finding that precise tipping point with the trigger and that wall, and the tipping point between your dog exploding and staying under threshold, so you can work with it before they explode. And this one you can work with getting faster and learning how to keep your target as you're going faster. Okay, so the third term that I didn't learn, but I didn't realize how much was actually involved, and that's the grip, right? So when I started, I knew grip as hold on to your gun so it doesn't fly out of your hand whenever you shoot it. And there's a lot more to that than I realized. So there's a whole science. Your shooting hand versus your support hand, getting this web right up under what they call the beaver tail, making sure that you have your three fingers all the way around. And then this is the part I didn't know, getting the butt of your other hand up under as tight as you could. I had no idea that's where my other hand went. I had no idea that this little scratch right here, looks like sandpaper, is where you can rest your hand to help that support hand. No idea. All that up close and tight. All this in here, squeezing my pinkies, and then shooting. Had no idea. The other part is putting it down and then picking it right back up so you get used to where you're supposed to go in that grip. Putting it down, picking it up right where it's supposed to go. So much functionally that goes on to your grip that I had no idea about and that I'm learning about. And practicing it reminds me of learning leash management 20 years ago, 23 years ago. Learning how the leash flows in your hand, how to finesse the weight of the leash, how subtle hand placements can guide a dog without even looking at your dog, without everything looking over exaggerated or chaotic. It really truly is an art form to leash management, because everything you're saying with your energy and your body and your leash, you're telling the dog directly where you want them to be. Back in the day when I was learning, I used to hook my leash up to a fence or like to a chair, and I would walk around it like it was a dog, practicing my corrections, practicing my hand placement, practicing relax versus ready versus we're about to go. There's so much that goes on to leash management that reminds me of grip management, that exact same tactile muscle memory. There's a lot that goes into it that I did not realize. And I've only been doing this really for about 2-3 months, like really getting into this. I had my first professional shooting lesson in 3 days, and I will record that and then come back and tell you guys how that went. But here's the bottom line for both worlds. Practicing at home feels completely silly and pointless. Standing in your living room, dry firing an empty gun down a hallway, or practicing leash mechanics with a chair feels awkward, but both are building crucial muscle memory, and both train your brain to connect with the mechanics, so that way it becomes second nature. It helps to strip away bad habits and build new ones, clean pathways before you're put under pressure, like in a shooting range. I'm sure my instructor will have a lot to say to me in a couple of days. If you're following me and you're a late bloomer, stepping into a brand new hobby, whether it be dog training or shooting guns or whatever it is, and you're stumbling through the learning curve, just like I am, it's hard and it's frustrating, and sometimes you're like, am I too old for this? But we're not. We're just learning something new, and we have to give ourselves grace for that. But hit that subscribe button below and follow my journey. Comment below if you're not getting into guns or dog training, shooting. Let me know what you're getting into. Also, head over to deathbysprinkles.com. Check out my women's streetwear apparel, as my hat represents. Have a lot of cute stuff over there. It's built for women who love to learn, grow, and kick ass daily. See you on the next video, guys.